Now called to order. Would you please rise and join us in the pledge of the flag? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Present.
Trustee Carter?
Present.
Trustee Fuller?
Present.
Trustee Reichert?
Present.
Trustee Gett?
Present.
Trustee Cumming?
Present.
Okay, thank you. First order of business tonight is the approval of the Board of Trustees minutes for the October 21st meeting. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes as submitted?
I move that we approve the minutes from the October 21st meeting.
Have a motion from Trustee Reichert,
Second.
second from Trustee Cumming. All those in favor of approving the Board of Trustees minutes for October 21st as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. Board has approved the minutes as submitted for the October 21st meeting. Next order of business tonight is the approval of the public hearing minutes for October 21st as well. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes as submitted?
I move that we accept the minutes as submitted.
Motion from Trustee Cumming. Second. Second from Trustee Gett. All those in favor of approving the public hearing minutes as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it, and the board has approved the public hearing minutes for October 21st, 2014 as submitted. Next up will be correspondence, and that will be presented by our village clerk, Shauna Musselman.
I've got it here. I just got to find it. Sorry. I saw it. Like,
Well, this better be good.
there we go. All right. All right, I have one item this evening, now that I have found it. All right, it reads as follows. To our friends at Village of Peoria Heights, thank you very much for sponsoring the 11th Annual Nature Photography Contest and Show at Forest Park Nature Center. Your generous prize donations were awarded to many of our winners. They were thrilled to have won a prize and are looking forward to their visit. Again, we truly appreciate your assistance in making this wonderful event a reality. Not only does it inspire the hundreds of local photographers who participate, but also allows our thousands of visitors to view these photographs and appreciate the beauty of our nature. We are honored to have you as a sponsor of this event. Best wishes, Kelsey Ernst, naturalist at Forest Park Nature Center.
Okay, thank you very much. No announcements tonight, so we'll go right to trustee reports, and first up will be the ambulance service with Trustee Fuller.
Thank you, Marilyn. I have nothing to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Move to Public Works with Trustee Harn.
Thank you. I have nothing to report.
Are you sure?
No. Well, I could maybe make something up, but no, we're good.
Okay.
Everything's good. No public work issues whatsoever,
All right.
unless Kyle has a few.
Okay. We'll move to administration and personnel with Trustee Reichert.
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go to economic development, village improvements with Trustee Carter.
Thank you. I have nothing at this point.
All right, thank you. We'll move to the police department. Trustee Cumming, I know you have something.
Yeah, thank you, Mary Ellen. I'm going to be that guy. Just have my usual announcement this evening that the next Neighborhood Watch meeting will take place right up here at Village Hall, 6:30, Monday, November 24th. As always, if you have any code enforcement or police issues in your neighborhood, please come up and share those with us so we can check into them and get that situation rectified for you. And potentially, maybe Deputy Chief Ahart will have some turkey roasting secrets he can share with us as Thanksgiving is falling on that week. So please come out and attend. We'd love to see you out. Thank you.
What was that date? I'm sorry.
The 24th, Monday the 24th
Thank you.
of November, in the year of our Lord, 2014.
Can you be a little more specific?
GPS coordinates?
All right, any questions at all for Trustee Cumming? All right, thanks again. We'll go to building maintenance with Trustee Gett.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing to report at this time.
Thank you, sir. Then we'll close out with the fire department with Trustee Gett.
Second verse.
Same as the first. Thank you, sir. Comments from the audience? Roberta? Nothing? Okay. No beef stew recipe or anything? Okay. Well, we thank everyone for attending, and no old business tonight, so we'll go right to new business. First up will be a special use renewal for Metro Auto Sales, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you. I think everybody has in their packet. Kerry went down and inspected Metro Auto Sales, and it looks like he's up to par. So I make a motion to special use permit.
Have a motion from trustee Carter.
Second.
Have a second from trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
How come he's not allowed to have boats on his parking lot? There's a special note that's saying no boats were seen. I'm just curious.
I think he just didn't have any on there. I think he's allowed to have them, isn't he?
Oh, okay. I mean, why mention it if,
I guess that, just to say that he didn't have them, showed he complied.
just a question?
Looking for a place to store your boat, trustee Harn?
No.
Okay.
No. I was just curious.
Well, our village clerk just pointed out
Got a boat for
that
sale?
Maybe.
that no more than five boats, and not to
Oh,
exceed
no more than five.
28 feet in length. So
Oh.
they can be on there, but they just gotta fall within that realm.
Well, that's good. you know,
No mega
guys
yachts. Yeah.
Trying to make a living there, selling cars and boats. But you never see boats.
More boats. We need more boats. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of the Metro Auto Sales Special Use Renewal as outlined by trustee Carter. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Or aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the Metro Auto Sales Special Use Renewal as outlined by trustee Carter. Next order of new business tonight is ordinance 2014-1418, and that will be presented by trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I will be brief with this. This is in relation to Village Ordinance 2014-1418, which grants the village the ability to license and regulate secondhand dealers, i.e. pawn shops, jewelry shops that buy things on consignment and then resell, as well as consignment shops, i.e. Play It Again Sports, Plato's Closet, Once Upon a Child, those types of stores. I would make a motion that we approve this ordinance with one amendment. I would like the board to consider waiving the $150 licensing fee for the existing secondhand dealers that we have in the village. They're all long-standing businesses that have been good neighbors to the village. We have three, I think it's Flores Music, Carlson Jewelers, and Pettit Jewelers. So that is the one change to the one amendment to the ordinance that I would like the village to consider when they do vote on this. To give you some cliff notes on this particular ordinance, and this would apply to new secondhand dealers, consignment shop retailers that want to move to the village. There would be a one-time $500 non-refundable licensing fee that they would have to submit along with their application. After their application is submitted, our administration, most likely would be Carrie, would go and check out the proposed site where they would want to open and conduct business to make sure that it is up to village code. And we have 21 days to do this, to get back to the proposed secondhand dealer to let them know if there's any changes that have to be made or if we have approved or declined their application. And also, new businesses, secondhand dealers that move into the village as part of this ordinance would be required to install and use the Leads online inventory tracking software app that our police department currently utilizes to look for illegal merchandise that might be marketing through the secondhand dealers. It's a good system. It not only allows them to keep track of their inventory to make sure that it is in the back room for, depending on the type of merchandise that it is, there are a certain amount of days that it has to be back there before it can be put back on the floor for resale. And this would allow our police department to help track that, as well as look for any merchandise that might be on a police report somewhere. So that would be another one of the requirements. And also our existing dealers would be expected to utilize this software package as well. And this ordinance does exclude secondhand dealers such as garage sales, auto parts dealers who are regulated by the state of Illinois, as well as charitable auctions, flea markets, fundraisers, trade shows, et cetera, vendors at village and municipal events, yada, yada, yada.
Just so I understand it, so you want to waive the $150 for the businesses that are currently doing business as secondhand stores, which I agree with, that just seems
Correct.
like an unnecessary tax, but they will have to start using the software you're talking about to keep inventory on the items they take in, which makes sense, that's pretty much what that
Right,
whole
yeah, they're
ordinance is
still
really
bound
about
by this
anyway.
ordinance. The only difference is, just as a show of appreciation for being longstanding businesses in the village, we would waive that $150 licensing fee. And that is the one amendment to this ordinance that I am asking the board to consider when voting this evening.
I agree with that, I'd like to second that.
The fee is per year though, right?
No.
Well, no, it's just a
I think
one.
so.
No, it's a
It's just a
one-time
one-time.
It says all
$500
fees are per
licensing fee.
calendar year,
Well,
or part thereof, and license fees.
that
shall
should
not
probably be nixed, don't you think?
Yeah, $500 a year seems.
Oh, that's way reasonable.
Yeah,
that for the software,
I apologize for the misinformation on that. Well, actually, if you read it, I think really, because Chief and I went back and forth, and we had to look at it, turn the page sideways to kind of get an understanding, but it was referring to the fact we had thought, well, maybe it means that it would be prorated if businesses hadn't been in the village for a year. But really what it says is that any business that has been a secondhand dealer that's been doing business in the village for a period of at least 12 calendar months or more would be charged $150. And any new business that had moved into the village up to and including 12 months before we pass this would have to pay the $500 fee.
Per year.
But it's our per calendar year, yeah, but so I apologize, I misrepresented that. It's $500 per year, not a one-time licensing fee. But that initial $500 check
Yeah.
would need to be submitted with the application.
Are
All
you
right, I
looking for
rescind my
waiving the,
second.
excuse me real quick, are you looking to waive the $150 for just this 1 year, trustee Cumming, or forever? For
I
this?
think we should waive it for the existing businesses forever. I believe
Forever?
they should be grandfathered in.
So, but we're, at $500 a year for new businesses seems kind of excessive.
Yeah, I think
If I
so
can make a
too.
couple comments.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
I think Chief can probably address this a little bit better than I can.
The reason that was written that way for the city, and we've adopted also, was just to be a deterrent to keep those type of businesses out. We are being proactive about getting out in front of this. I don't think it's really an issue either way. I don't think there's anybody that's going to come in to Peoria Heights and pay $500 per year to do that. I'm not opposed to waiving, just to being a one-time fee. I think that's fine, but the reason it was written that way was just to serve as a deterrent, to say we don't want that in here. Someone's going to come in and say, I'm not paying $500 every time. So that was kind of the mindset. I'm all for waiving the $150 for existing businesses. I agree with that. I'm also in agreement that it should be maybe just a one-time fee to be. And again, it's not a huge issue for us like it is in Peoria. Peoria's having a lot of issues with these secondhand dealers due to, and that's why we've been on Leads Online for 2 years, and we have solved a lot of cases and recovered a lot of stolen property using Leads Online. And I think that it's only right for our 3 businesses to use that as well. It's a good tool, it's free, very easy to sign up with. But that was the intent of this $500 per year, is just serve as a deterrent. That's why it was set that way, and obviously, you can understand why it would be a deterrent, because who would want to pay $500 a year? That's a lot of inventory to cover that.
Sure.
And we don't really have, like I said, the 3 that we do have, I don't think they're doing a lot of business with the secondhand, selling the used stuff. I mean, maybe the music instruments, the Flores, maybe, I'm not sure. Haven't really looked at that, but again, that was why that was written that way. So if you want to take that out and just say it's a one-time fee, that's fine. But that was its intention. So.
Thoughts, annual, one time?
One time.
I'd say one time.
Well, it depends, right? Like the pawn shops, yeah, you can see, you'd want to keep that as a barrier, but for like a music shop or a jewelry store, like it seems kind of excessive.
It's a delicate situation, because now, like for example, let's say A to Z Pawn gets our ordinance and says, you know what, I can go to the highest and just pay one time. I don't have to pay yearly. So it
Yeah,
depends
but
on which way you look at it.
You guys are pretty good at doing what you do.
I'm not-
I think you're enough deterrent without charging them too.
Yeah, I agree.
think you catch them pretty quick.
I agree, but it's just another way to look at it. Either
I
way,
agree.
it will work.
I'm all for a one-time fee, and let's go from there.
500,
so-
and the other businesses are already grandfathered. One-time fee, 500. and the
One-time
other
fee,
businesses
500
are
for new
grandfathered.
businesses, or any business, secondhand dealer that has opened up in the village in the last 12 months or going forward would pay the one-time $500 fee. Make that amendment as well.
Okay, let me throw something
there
out there.
anyone
There's, where Sassy Lady used to be, is it
Secondhand.
Secondhand Betty? Something to that effect, and I believe that they sell some things on consignment, I might be wrong there. But I don't know if they've opened in the last 12 months or not, but I know they've been there for a while.
It's been within the last year.
Okay.
Is that with the suitcases they
Yeah.
put out for the advertising? Yeah, they would be.
They would be grandfathered
Yes.
in, okay.
Let me ask you, Chief, is there a cost, not cost, but additional labor on the part of the police department to maintain some vigilance over these businesses?
No, what it will do is we will send our detective in periodically to check. They've got to open up their books. We have to check. We can also check online through Leads Online to see what they've taken in. We could also show up and they've got to show us their hard copy, their records, instead of just what we can view online. So it's in the ordinance and it's worked very well. And I really, again, I'm looking at the business of Peoria Heights and I'm not comparing them, not trying to be disparaging the pawn shops, but they're just different animals. Carlson Jewelry, A to Z Pawn, much lower volume, obviously, in the secondhand dealers, but I don't really see it being an issue. I think this is just getting out in front of it in case we were to see just a flux of these type of stores wanting to open up in the Heights. So.
Well, what I've asked the board is that, we do have a yearly fee for the liquor licenses, obviously, and for entertainment licenses and whatnot. Would the board consider a yearly fee of, say, $150 for those that aren't grandfathered in? Because there will be some increased work on our part, so to speak.
So
And
the
even-
businesses that are, right now, they're grandfathered in, they will not have a yearly fee, but any new businesses this day forward that we sign this, they would have
It's more
the-
complicated. That's a great businesses that haven't been here for 12 months, which I think we should eliminate that part too. I'm not for a yearly fee for a second.
What costs it could offset is it
The next thing you know, you're going to
does
charge
cost us-
everybody who has a business in Peoria Heights a fee for having a business in Peoria Heights.
No, but the
I
business is
know-
different than a secondhand one, because now we have to kind of monitor what they're bringing in.
Right.
That's out of the ordinary as opposed to Save-A-Lot. So there is kind of
It
a,
will be more manpower. I mean, it's not hours and hours and hours, but it will be more manpower. And if you're looking for, as far as a cost for it to offset, now we have to pay for Leads Online. For the law enforcement version of it, it is not free. We pay, I think, $1,700 a year for it to be into the database and locked in, so it is not free for us. So if you're looking to offset that cost with some type of, that is an angle. But I'm good either way. But it will be more manpower for our detective, code enforcement. We will keep up on these. But right now, you have 4. And I really don't see those 4 being a big problem.
Is there a way that we could, like, separate out pawn shops, like, if 51% of your income comes from, consignment goods?
Kind of like
or
the liquor
something
ordinance
like
with
that?
the so much food
Yeah,
percentage.
because, I mean, a lot of these, like I know the music store, Carson's, they're probably not doing a huge business, but.
Well,
Yeah.
like I explained.
People
in the-
selling used jackets aren't really,
Yeah, right.
come on.
Like I mentioned at the committee meeting, is that this is just a proactive approach,
Yeah.
getting out in front of it. This was not complaint-driven at all, not at all. So,
but Peoria is charging these
yes,
charges
this is
here.
what Peoria charges. Who
cares?
And I know Bartonville, I talked to Chief Fengel last week, and they're adopting the same ordinance this week, and the only changes they have made is the waiting period. I know Bartonville stated that the waiting period that they can resell, they've lowered that a little bit. But as far as the fee structure, they're staying the same. But again, Bartonville they have many more businesses that operate as secondhand dealers than we do. I mean, they're about triple us, believe it or not. I mean, they're not the city, but they're right in the middle. So it is a different animal for Bartonville. But
So Trustee Hart, I understand you want to be business-friendly, but I don't know if a pawn shop is our idea of being business-friendly.
Well, I agree with Matt. If there should be some kind of a way of determining who's who, if, 51% or more of your business is selling secondhand stuff and it's going to cost us more to regulate and keep track of what they're selling, then fine. But I mean, if that's just like part of someone's business, I think you're going to irritate them more than you're going to help.
Well, I kind of like, if I understand trustee Carter's idea is, it's just that if you're already a secondhand store here in Peoria Heights, you're grandfathered in, but after today, you want to come in and do business, you're going to get charged the fees. The other ones aren't, right? Is that what you had in mind?
That's what I had in mind.
It makes it a lot simpler. Those who are already in here doing business, forget about the 12 months and all that, but who's ever already here, as of this date, doing business, doing secondhand goods,
But is it a one-time?
you're grandfathered in. Anybody else comes in after today that wants to do that type of business, they get charged the fee or whatever we agree the fee is. And that's very simple. Then you don't have to sit there and go, well, it's 51% of your business from pawn. This way, you don't have to worry about those four, and anybody else comes in, then you can regulate them. It just seems easier
And I
that
think
way.
then the next question would be, is it annually or? is it-
Yeah, annual or just a one-time fee with the application. Thoughts?
I go annual, if you're going to go 100, just 150. I mean, I don't know if you want to go 500.
Do we go 500 initial, 150 renewal?
There we go.
Oh,
It's a good compromise.
It does.
It's not going to be much of a deterrent if it's not
I guess
annual.
my issue
well,
is,
It's a
yeah.
one-time fee, it's not a deterrent, I don't think, and they'll,
I guess my issue is,
Come here.
I don't have any problem charging a pawn shop $500, a year,
Okay?
but it seems like if you have a little consignment store and you sell clothes or, something like that, $650 or, $500 a year, that seems like it could be substantial. I don't know.
So where are you at, 500, 150, 500,
This is
250?
sounding like an auction.
Going twice. I know, Chief, you want to adopt it, and then we can amend it if we have to. I mean, that's kind of your goal tonight, to get it in place, right?
Yeah, I
Is
think
there a
we-
way of separating the two?
I don't know.
How about that? Why don't we put it to the board to vote to accept it as is, and we can amend it after the next departmental meeting with further discussion.
So we so we adopt it with the one amendment, grandfathering in existing businesses, no pre-existing timeframe within the last 12 months.
But no.
It's going forward.
No fee for the pre-existing
For
business.
for the
No
existing,
fees for the existing
business.
businesses at all.
Okay.
And there will be no pre-existing 12-month period
On
that
same
has to be
page.
met.
we have a motion from trustee Cumming
And I second.
to amend it to where there is no fee for the existing businesses that deal in secondhand merchandise. Is that correct? Motion from trustee Cumming, second from trustee Harn. Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Aye.
Trustee Carter.
Aye, but I have a question first. Okay.
Too late.
We are going to bring it up in the departmental meeting as far as the dollar amount
Yes, ma'am.
and whether it's annual or one time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Make note.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Fuller.
Aye.
Trustee Reichert.
Aye.
Trustee Gett.
Aye.
Trustee Cumming.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the amendment as supplied by trustee Cumming that there will be no fee for the existing businesses that deal in secondhand merchandise at this time. So with that amendment attached to the proposed ordinance number 2014-1418, need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion from trustee Gett,
Second.
second from trustee Carter.
Did we already do this?
No, that's for the amendment part of it. Now we're going to do the actual ordinance with that amendment as part of it, with the knowledge that we're going to discuss it and make changes after the discussion.
Okay.
I've already got brain damage.
First from trustee Gett, second from trustee Carter.
Okay, sorry.
Any
Thank
further
you.
questions or comments from the board?
Call the question.
Okay, once again, this is for board approval of the ordinance 2014-1418, as outlined by trustee Cumming, with the amendment as previously discussed and approved by the board. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Aye.
Trustee Carter.
Aye.
Trustee Fuller.
Aye.
Trustee Reichert.
Aye.
Trustee Gett.
Aye, aye. Covered it twice. There we go.
Trustee Cumming.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved ordinance 2014-1418 with the amendment as supplied by trustee Cumming. Okay, we are now to the payment of the bills, and those will be read by our village clerk, Shawna Musselman.
I second it.
All right, this represents the bills as discussed at the October 28th, 2014 Departmental Committee. General fund expenditures are $500,750.43. MFT is $123,936.01. for total village expenditures of $624,686.44. And the waterworks expenditures were $88,701.26.
Are there any questions or comments regarding the bills as read? Need a motion to pay the bills. Motion from trustee Yett,
Second.
second from trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert? Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the payment of the bills as read. And our next Board of Trustees meeting will be held Tuesday, November 18th at 6:30 PM. And the next departmental committee meeting will be held Tuesday, November 25th at 6:30 PM. Is there any other business to come before the board this evening?
Well, if there isn't any, I move we adjourn this puppy.
We have a motion from trustee Gett,
Second.
second from trustee Cumming. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting at this time, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. The meeting is now adjourned. We thank all for attending.